Before you begin to relax very deeply, I'm just going to say a few words about how past conditioning can give us limiting and wrong ideas about ourselves, which can seem hard to shift. Early ideas that you develop about yourself often stick like superglue. It's as if any contrary evidence you later receive about yourself is discarded or excused. So, if you were forever being told that you never had anything to say, or that you were stupid when you were a child, that belief conditioning may have stuck with you. We humans like to think that we're right, even when being right means holding on to limiting and damaging beliefs about yourself. In order to really begin to recognize your own intelligence and positive mental qualities, you will have to let go of having to be right about you being more stupid than you really are. People who automatically feel they are stupid will be selective with the evidence that life presents to them about themselves. So, if they do well at something, they might dismiss it by saying, well, anybody could have done that. Remember, when you are clever at something, then it will feel easy. Or they might give the credit for their own intelligence to other people by saying, well, that went well because Lucy or George really helped me. It wouldn't have worked without their help. So strong is the early brainwashing that they are dumb and stupid that their mind tries to maintain the early conditioning by making excuses for any evidence that doesn't fit the "I'm stupid" label. If we really truly believe we are stupid, and believe that other people think we are stupid, we may subconsciously start to act more stupidly, producing a self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-concepts can actually mold our behavior. The trouble is that living with out-of-date limiting labels about ourselves means we live in more limited ways than we need to. Maybe someone told you that you were stupid and you believed them because you were young or they had some authority. Perhaps you've applied black or white simplistic standards to yourself, and this perfectionist approach has left you inevitably feeling you are no good. Maybe you learnt that not understanding something immediately or being confused when learning something new equals you being stupid. But of course it doesn't. If you weren't confused when first learning something, then you wouldn't have needed to learn it anyway. So when you relax with not understanding something at first, you actually become better at understanding. Because anxiety about feeling stupid blocks the natural instinctive process of absorbing new learnings and relaxing with the uncertainty of getting new skills and understandings. Thinking that you're stupid blocks understanding. Relaxing with not understanding something straight away increases eventual understanding. Maybe your intelligence isn't particularly academic, and you felt that somehow school and college grades are the only measure of intelligence. This may have led you to downplay everything else you can do as not really being smart, or not really being intelligent. Some of the best brains in history had awful school careers, and felt themselves to be stupid at one point. Other people also told them they were stupid, but they went beyond that early, damaging brainwashing to cast aside self-limiting beliefs. Thomas Edison, for example, felt really stupid at school and didn't believe he could learn. He said he was always bottom of the class and felt that his father thought that he was stupid too. But it was just that school learning didn't suit him. Edison went on to transform the modern world with his invention and development of the light bulb, the phonograph, flexible celluloid film and the projector, the microphone and 1,000 other inventions. Edison was able to cast off early perceptions of himself as stupid and prove to himself and to the world that this was simply not the case. So this session will help you begin to be fair with yourself and give yourself an equal chance, because, of course, you need to be on your own side. Now, your ability to go into a trance, the kind of trance where you relax very, very deeply and let go of unhelpful beliefs about yourself, is something that you don't need to consciously try to do. You can just make sure that your body is in a comfortable position. And then when it is, right now, you can just close your eyes if you hadn't done already. That's it. No need to try or try not to try, because you can just breathe nice and comfortably, making those out-breaths long and smooth. And just give your body some time to settle down and start to feel relaxed. Because your body knows how to relax deeply. Because it does so each and every night as you drift off to sleep. That's it. Even if you're not aware of that happening, your body knows how to relax. Even as your conscious mind sleeps deeply, your body knows how to relax the hands and the toes without trying to do anything consciously. And you know, of course, what a really good sigh feels like when it's the end of a long day and you're finally back home and you take in a deep breath and just sigh with relief and comfort. And as you let that body begin to relax, just being aware of relaxation beginning to travel throughout the muscles of your shoulders and down the arms, letting the facial muscles soften and the jaw loosen as you relax deeper, and the shoulders sink into comfortable calm. That's it. And it can begin to feel like the air around your body is relaxing too. And you can just begin, perhaps, to find yourself in your mind taking a stroll beneath a blue sky in a particularly beautiful place where you can feel a gentle breeze on your face, maybe a warm breeze or a cooling breeze as you relax deeper. where the sun perhaps can gently warm your skin, and where you can smell the wonderful freshness of the air. And I'd like you to just look at the landscape, the shape of the landscape, or the way the light touches your surroundings, shadows or distant sounds that somehow allow you to relax in reassured comfort, and how you can start to feel very good, sometimes as if the corners of your mouth want to turn up all by themselves, to express an inner smile. Because if you find a place in this landscape to sit and rest comfortably, that's it. And feel that inner sigh once again as you go to a new level of deep comfort and relaxation. And as you sit back and rest in your mind, you can just relax deeper. That's it. And deeper still. And there can be conscious thoughts on one level, but they can just fade in and out as a part of you increasingly relaxes into this place, and you go into a trance where you start to feel very good. And I'd like you to notice in your mind's eye, just up there, in the sky overhead, in a few moments, a calm, friendly, kind, a fluffy white cloud, drifting by in the beautiful sky, ready to help you by taking from you any of those old limiting beliefs, any old negative emotions associated with learning, and beginning to draw them out of you like a grey mist, because your brain is capable of 1,000,000 times what you think it is. And as you look up at that cloud, you can just watch and feel any old unhelpful beliefs flow right out of you. That's it. A heavy grey mist whooshing out of you and flowing up into that cloud as if you can feel and see all those old, past, unhelpful associations and conditionings and brainwashings just lifting out of you like that grey mist and just filtering through the air into that cloud up there. That cloud taking on all that for you, leaving you feeling clearer and lighter as you relax deeper. And you can feel freer and more energized. The more that cloud can seem greyer and greyer as it takes on all that old past conditioning for you. And as I talk, your unconscious mind can do a thorough job, and it can take any and all of those old limiting beliefs and honestly let them just flow into that cloud, leaving you full of all kinds of potentials. Just feel that happening now as you relax deeper. And as it continues to do that now, you could just get a sense, here and now, of the number of people over the centuries who were given false beliefs about themselves. From that paragon of inventors, Thomas Edison, being a small boy, the reality of him being a small boy at one time, as if you can connect to that time in history. A small boy worrying and struggling at his wooden desk in class, surrounded by people who couldn't see his value, who believed he had no future. Or the young Benjamin Franklin, who was thought by all to be dull and stupid, and slow at doing sums, whose father found constant frustration in trying to teach his son anything, and who flunked out of Brownell's Academy after only 2 years of formal education. But words like stupid are completely relative. They're labels that can be stuck on, but they don't always belong there, and they don't always stick forever, and can come away and drift away, because Franklin went on to become a great scientist, inventor, essayist, civic leader, statesman, mechanic, and philosopher. And nobody since has thought of him as stupid. Or the great writer Ernest Hemingway, the artist Pablo Picasso, the great entrepreneur and the founder of Virgin, Richard Branson, all did terribly in their school days. Because that kind of learning, that kind of environment was too limiting for them and didn't suit them at all. And all went on to become world famous for their talents, innovation, and success in their fields. And it's interesting that these successful people weren't good at everything. Picasso never became a great writer, but he had his own signature strength, his genius for painting. Branson never became a great philosopher, but he played to his own strengths for making bold business decisions and trying things other people wouldn't dare. And whether you know what they are consciously or not, you can begin to consider what strengths you have and how to best play these cards in life. Because for all of these people, a time came in their lives when they had to stop and really change, to cast away those old limiting beliefs, to grow out of them, because you once believed you were stupid, and you really do know that isn't and wasn't ever a fair, rounded, and accurate judgment about yourself. Because you can see that old belief for what it always was, an artificial limit that tried to pressure you and bully you, as if someone had attached an official-looking notice to the inside of your brand new car, which said you could only drive it in first gear. And for a while, you took the notice at its word. You believed the person who wrote it, and you crawled along the roads, hearing the engine strain and strain, feeling the frustration at always arriving late, until the frustration builds and the car strains, and you arrive late again and again, and you finally rip off that note, scrunch it up, toss it in the trash can, and discover, to your surprise, how well your car drives in every gear as you shift into second, third, fourth, and right into top gear, and the pleasure of hearing the engine hum, being used for what it was meant to be used for, and the glide along at a speed that's comfortable, free, and that gets you there on time can be such a relief. That's it. And just adjusting to whatever the right speed is for you now can relax with this as an idea is forming in your unconscious. That's it. Knows how to change that old belief, to toss it in that trash can right now. And as that cloud up there takes on the last of those old beliefs, you can feel the tingling freedom as you watch it float away, further and further, for you to feel a new belief in who it is that you are, so much more capable than you once thought you were going to be, able and willing to fully respect and appreciate all parts of you, can just watch that cloud as it reaches the horizon and begins to rain. And as the raindrops pour from that cloud, the sunlight glimmers through each and every one of them, touching them with life, each one glimmering with refracted light, the colours of the rainbow, and the sparkle of golden sunlight. And as they fall and reach the ground, they nourish and fertilize the soil and let the plants have a good, refreshing drink, and all is well. And freed from the weight of those old beliefs, you can begin to see a future path before you. A path in life that's wider, richer, brighter, and more colourful. A path that has you genuinely surprising yourself with the knowledge that even with advances in computer technology, your brain is far more sophisticated and powerful than any supercomputer on Earth. And where you once had false limitations stuck into your brain, trying to hold it back, now you've torn them down, screwed them up, and tossed them in the trash can. That brain can light up and shine, and it can glow fully into top gear and astonish you in ways you never thought possible, for you are capable of much more than you think. Learning this instinctively and deeply now, as you take a stroll into this future, realizing that intelligence means many things: solving problems, creativity, social skills, verbal skills, math skills, physical skills. So many ways for you to shine, so many facets of intelligence, like the different edges and surfaces of a diamond. And really find your own special strengths and play to them. And just find yourself now, perhaps 1 year in the future, seeing what you'll see and hearing what you'll hear, actually in this future time. That's it. And reflecting back on some of your achievements over this last year, the changes you noticed in yourself, the changes other people noticed, times you were able to relax with uncertainty knowing it's natural not to know what you don't know. And that uncertainty means you're actually learning something new. And how many ways this new ability to really believe in yourself has benefited your life. That's it. Noticing that now. And as you prepare to come back to the here and now, you can keep all those learnings and bring them back with you in your unconscious mind. That's it. And just beginning to awaken now and noticing the position of your body, coming back alert and refreshed, reorientating to the here and now, and then whenever you're ready, just open your eyes. Excellent.